Hello and welcome to the Absolute Game of Nerds. This is JP here, and if you listen to the music, I had a good day, a good couple days of antiquing, we'll call it Facebooking, and the ever-present weekly auction that I go to. So just like Cube is singing here, it was a good couple days. So let me go over what I found in this quick little YouTube video. So let me start with a non-comic related item. Last night, every Tuesday in my neck of the woods, there is an auction about a mile or two from my house. So I normally stop weekly. This particular day, didn't think I would be able to go by. I had checked online. I didn't see any comics or any toys of any real, meaning. So I just didn't think I was going to be going. I didn't have time. So I drove past it right as the auction had already started. I basically parked my car, found the only open spot, walked in, and found a nice box. This is the original Ewok Village box in pretty darn good shape. I think there's one cutout, and that is the UPC symbol. And inside that box were partial Ewok Village pieces to the Death Star, for those of you that had the Death Star as a kid. It had a piece to the Sears Cantina, the regular Cantina, which I'll find for you in a second, and Cloud City backdrop. These are all the cardboard backdrops for those play sets. So here is the Cantina. This is the regular Cantina. There was the Sears one that was in there, and there was, like I said, the Cloud City. There was this Chewbacca. His arms are in there, but not on. And then what I had was a couple pieces of the Ewok Village. I had the Death Star in there, pieces of it. But the reason I got this is because I have let's call it a 75% completed Ewok Village behind me here. And the week before at the auction, there was a Jabba the Hutt box, beat up, not in good shape. This box is in good shape. There's no real tears on it or anything. So my goal was to have, I don't want to go down the Star Wars wormhole at this point. The comics are enough for me. I love Marvel. I do pick up my occasional Star Wars comics, but I don't really want to go down the wormhole just yet. But this was in front of me, staring at me, and I said, I was bidding against an absentee bidder. I paid about $100 for this box full of stuff, and my goal was to have a completed Ewok Village with box within the next couple months. I don't think it's going to be hard to get the pieces I want. I posted on a Facebook marketplace site or a Facebook group for Star Wars, and within 2 minutes, I had 30 comments. I had people offering me money for the all the backdrops. So I sold 2 of those backdrops already, and basically made about almost $100 on this box itself. So that worked out pretty well. And if I get rid of the rest of the stuff, I'll probably triple my money, and I'll have the box and the Ewok Village, and got what I wanted. So that was a pretty nice pickup. It's a great looking box too, and what was in there was some nice finds that you don't see every day, especially these backdrops, which I found to be, they're not rare, but they're hard to find in decent shape. So that was the non-comic item. Now, as many of you know, there's a little contest going on between all the people in a particular group. Mike from Lunch Money Comics, Rohan, Colossus Collector, Brandon from Mon, you name it. There's probably 10 of us that are going to be doing the Marvel Series 3 contest to see who has the most first appearances. So, as I was on my travels yesterday, hence the reason why I didn't think I'd go to the auction because I was traveling, I stopped by a local LCS in the Pittsburgh area, and I could have bought 3 keys. One would have been Jubilee's first appearance, the other one would have been Psylocke, and the third one would have been Nebula's first appearance. All in good grade. All were about $30 to $40 a piece, so it would have been about $110. So I opted not to buy them, and I was going to, on my travels home, there's an antique store that has, big, huge, basically it's a comic book store inside the antique store. The guy's super nice, has a lot of, good comics. Some of them are pretty higher end books that he finds in the collection he buys, but he's always willing to deal, and he's a super nice guy. So I swung by, and when I go in there, his comic section's off to the left, and it's, like I said, pretty sizable. But he must have bought a collection, because there was comics in piles on top of the dollar bin, where I found some pretty cool books in that dollar bin. And I'm going through, and I'm finding key after key after key. Now, not in high grade by any stretch, but again, this contest is bragging rights, not high grade. It's having the book, doesn't matter the grade, in my opinion, just as long as you have it. So he's not there, the owner. And I said to the worker there, I said, hey, what's he doing with these? And she said, let me call him. Long story short, he came in quickly because he was checking in, and then he had to head out. He said he'll just show me what I got. He said, give me a couple hours, maybe come back tomorrow. And I said, hey, I just have a few here I need. And he's like, all right, great. I can price them for you while you're here. So he did. So let me show you what I picked up from this gentleman, and I'll tell you what I paid for everything. These aren't keys. I just had to have these. If you know me, you know why. They have, what is it? Shayna, the She-Devil, or Shauna, or Shayna. I don't know the name, but it looks like Shayna. We have another Shayna, the She-Devil, number 2 of 7. This was Marvel Knights, when I guess this was the adult version of Marvel at the time. And we have another Shayna, the She-Devil, number 5 of 7. Great covers. Frank Cho, he did some covers, I think, for Gen X, or this J. Scott Campbell book that came out on Image. I think it was Gen 13. So, like his artwork, can't beat those covers. So, McFarlane, first Incredible Hulk, first Marvel for Todd McFarlane. This book is in not great shape. I do have a 9.6 on my wall, but here's my reader copy. For $5, I'll take it. Here is Spectacular Spider-Man number 90. This is the tied for the first black suit appearance with Amazing Spider-Man 252. I have this graded. Here's my reader copy. As some of you may know, my son has started started me on a Spectacular Spider-Man run. This would be one I would just add to that run, to that short box, so it's in there. The rest are non-graded, but this was the only Spec Spider-Man I had graded, so I kind of want to, I wanted a raw one to put in the collection there in that little short box. So here's the first key for the contest. Here is New Mutants Annual number 2. This is the first appearance of Psylocke. This is not in high grade. You got some spine issues here, but we don't care. It's worth a point. Again, every comic is worth a point. Doesn't matter if it's in the highest grade or lowest grade, 9.8, 1.0. The point's a point, apparently, at this point. So I'll take it. Here is Hulk 234. This is the first appearance of Quasar. This book I had and sold, and basically the same shop I bought it from and sold from, I bought it again. So I'll take that all day long. Next comic we have up here is going to be Captain America 333. This is the first appearance of John Walker, the second Captain America, future USA agent. Again, a couple bucks there. Next book we have Captain America. This is number 360, and this is the first appearance cameo of Crossbones. So there are 2 cameos of Crossbones. This is the more expensive book out of the group that I saw on Key Collector. So I'm not sure if that counts. I think it does. Not 100% sure. The next book, let me look up real quick and make sure I have the right person on that one. But we're going to see where we're at here. Let me just look it up real quick. I think I'm right, but I want to make sure before I... Okay, so I found it. Had to make sure. A little more than I thought it was. This is Amazing Spider-Man Amazing Spider-Man Annual 16. This is the first appearance of Monica Rambeau, Captain Marvel, who later became Photon, who is in the new Marvels movie. Next book, Incredible Hulk 245. I believe this is the first appearance of Moonstone. This is not anyone on the Marvel Series 3 cards, but there's people out there that love these Hulk books, and I can sell them all day on eBay, so I pick them up when I can. Another book that has a lot more meaning now after the Marvels movie came out, and this is Young Avengers number 1, the first appearance of basically, I think it's Kate Bishop, who was the female Hawkeye. We have Hulkling here. There are a ton of first appearances in this book. This is their first team as well. This book, not in the greatest shape. Tried to press it. Didn't do a ton to it, but looks better, somewhat better after pressing. But this is a good one to have with that movie maybe coming out. On that same note, whether they go with Kang or not in the future MCU, based on Jonathan Majors' issues, this one is Young Avengers #4 Kang cover. This one is just, I think, more iconic for a modern cover, is what the draw is on that one. So for a couple bucks, I'll pick that one up. Next book is we have Daredevil number 183, Frank Miller, Daredevil, Punisher, iconic cover, one of my favorites. Have it in higher grade. Figured for a couple dollars, I'm going to pick it up. And, so I did. And there's a whole story between Punisher and Daredevil. This is their first meetup. And then there's another issue where Daredevil's holding a gun through the cover. It's a pretty cool looking cover that I've seen as a kid back when I started collecting in the 90s, and have that one as well. So just a cool book, not in the best grade. I was hoping, since it was newsstand, it might have been to Mark Jewelers, but unfortunately it's not. But the next book, not a key, I don't think. I'm going to have to look it up to see. But we have Infinity Gauntlet #4, and this is just an iconic cover of Thanos sort of saying, "Come and get me." I just love the cover. I do have Infinity Gauntlet #1. This is probably the second best cover out of that group. So I just like the look of that. And again, it's low grade, but it's probably mid grade, let's say. But I like that cover, so I took it. Next book, for those of you that know me well, had to get this one. This is Lobo #56. This is the you might call it the first appearance of Lobo's kid. Now, there is a Teen Titans annual that is her first appearance, but she's mentioned in this book, kind of like Reed Richards and Franklin Richards in Fantastic Four annual #6, where Annihilus is his first appearance. He's a baby then. This was a dream I think Lobo had, where he had a kid. This is also the last book in that run. Now, this one is in pretty decent grade, so it has some value just because it's the last book in that run. It's also a possible first appearance of his daughter. I have the Teen Titan books as well, so I have all her first appearances covered. So I got all Lobo's first appearance. So when he makes it to the big screen, I'm going to say I told you so to many of you out there. So, and the second to last book is the Secret Wars book. Just like the cover, I was hoping that there was the Wolverine and Spider-Man cover as well. Wolverine is the first appearance of Quake. This one I don't think has any significance appearance-wise, but I just think it's a cool cover with the black background, the gold writing, and Cappy on the cover. So, nice-looking book. Last one, we have X-Men Double Size 166, first appearance of Lockheed. So this one was not in that bundle of what he was sorting out. It was in one of his other short boxes, but I grabbed this, and all of these were in his sorting box, or sorting bundles, pals. So I got all of these, as you saw, those first appearances, for $100, and including one more Grail that I'll show you in a second. But let me go ahead and switch gears to an unboxing real quick. And this is another one to go with the first appearances. Not one I'd ever really sought out to get, but the deal was pretty good. This one came via Facebook. I don't normally buy from Facebook, but I saw this one come across the tape, as we'll call it, and I just thought I had to have this one for the price. The guy was selling this in a set, but he said he was willing to break it up. So I inquired, and he was good to do. And like I said, normally I don't buy from Facebook. I don't trust everybody on there unless I'm meeting someone in person. I'm not a big fan of that. But he came through his word. Great guy. Nice price on the book too. So let's see what we got. Wrap well. Always love the fact that someone wraps it with the pool, what you call it, styrofoam. Always reminds me of summer. So, and the Blue Painter's tape, always a good touch. Like I say every time, use the Blue Painter's tape on the interior stuff that you pack. On the outside, use the regular tape. So, what do we have here? Let's see. Again, not in high grade, but for the contest, grade doesn't matter. And for me, it's just having this book. It's iconic. This is Fantastic Four number 52, the first appearance of Black Panther. I paid $250 for this book. It's a little beat up, missing some of the cover on the corner here, on the right-hand corner, but overall, I think it presents pretty good. Let's take it out of the ugly cover, and yeah, all day long. Nice looking book. So picked that one up too. Came to me the same just today. Got the Star Wars stuff. Got the stack of points, we'll call it. Let's see how many points that I got here. We'll call it. Nothing yet. Young Avengers isn't part of it. Nothing yet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think there's one there. 5 points plus Black Panther. 6 points. And the last book I'll show you, the Grail. The white whale, as I'll call it. Okay, so those of you, I've mentioned this before. This is one of my favorite modern Hulk covers. It is the Dale Keown cover. Saw this everywhere as a kid. Never had it. I might have had this one, but I knew there was 2 other copies of it. So I had this one, and I think I sold it at some point before I got back into collecting. So sometime in the 90s, I must have traded or sold it. So this is one of the first books I bought back just because I love the cover. And then as I was out looking, I found the second printing, which love that black background, the green Hulk. I just think that the how different these books look next to each other is such a cool thing. So I picked this one up. I think it's somewhat more valuable than the first printing, but I realized there was a third printing, and that one is basically hard to find, big money. And in those pile of comics at the antique store that he was sorting through was the third printing of Hulk. 377. This is the first appearance of Professor Hulk. So now I have all 3. This is the most expensive one. This is the hardest to find one. Unfortunately, it's not in great grade. I'm going to say it's probably a 4.0, maybe a 5. It's got some spine issues here, a tear at the staple. Staple's still on, but it's got a little bit of it's held on by a thread. And then we have a rip up top here. Try to put this in Mylar because it presents so nice in Mylar. The Mylar I have is like 4 mil. It's very unforgiving to books that are in great shape. They make them look great, but getting them in the Mylar is sometimes a task if the book has some issues. And so I may have added a little more to the tear up here, unfortunately. So it goes into the top loader and it'll stay in here for the duration. So yeah, so I'm quite excited about this book. This is one I wanted to find in the wild and didn't think I would. It was just sitting there. I just can't believe it was there. So I'm super excited about this Hulk 377. Very excited about my Black Panther first appearance. Never one I thought I'd get, and for the price and the grade, I'm good with it. I just wanted a copy. Got some points, 6 points today. Takes me up to close to 100 now, so I'm guaranteed to win, which is awesome. I think there's might be money involved if you win by enough. We'll see. Ewok Village, pretty cool. So tell me what you think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And you tell me which one you thought was the best deal I got out of it. $100 for all of these, including the Hulk book. $100 for the Ewok Village, $250 for the Black Panther. So curious to hear what you have to say. Thanks everybody for watching, and I will catch you on the next unboxing.